What up, everybody? Hope you're having a good Monday afternoon. You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We got a bunch to talk about in today's video. I'm excited to talk about potentially A'Shawn Robinson signing with the New York Giants. Big Blue also signed a corner, Leonard Johnson. If you're like me, you're like, who the hell is Leonard Johnson? Well, we broke it down on the channel. We put the video out about 2 hours ago. So if you want to know more about him, you can go watch that video. We'll also discuss it in today's episode. We're also going to have 2 mailbags. I want to get back to hearing from the real ones that always tune in. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Who do you want to sign? Who do you want to draft? We're going to break all that down. We'll go through like the top 20 free agents left. We'll look at some stats. We'll talk about some guys the Giants I think could be interested in. We got a lot of fun stuff to do on today's show. I'm excited. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We already got up to 100 people watching. Love that. Shout out your city for me down in the comments section, as I'm seeing a bunch of real ones in the chat already. Shout out to my guy Rosario Guzzo. Turtle Powers in the chat. What up, Brody? Screwed World, my man. What up? Nick's Galaxy, Rodon, Zack Attack, Osmosis, Nick's Galaxy. Look at this. North Bergen, Deerfield Beach, Brooklyn, New York, Philadelphia, New Jersey, Dover, Delaware. What up, Gutter? What up, Gutter? Darius is in Pittsburgh. My guy Turtle Power rocking from the port. What up, Drew? Zach's in Richmond. Is that Richmond, Virginia? Richmond, Texas? Richmond, Virginia?
Is there even I didn't know there was a Richmond, Texas.
That's where I'm from. Richmond,
oh, really?
Texas. Richmond, Texas.
The only Richmond I know is Virginia.
Rich what?
What?
Wow. Tell me you've never seen Coach Carter without telling me you've never seen Coach Carter.
Oh, I actually just watched it a couple weeks ago in all
It's
honesty.
a great movie.
Oh, it's a fantastic movie. I didn't get your reference. That's bad on me. But
Rich what? You still don't know?
I can't remember.
That's their rally cry. They're like, Rich what? Richmond. Rich what? Richmond. If you haven't seen Coach Carter, you're a fraud. Rolly, watch it again and come back.
I will admit.
Come back with a book report.
No, I will admit, when I watched it 2-3 weeks ago, it might have been.
Was that the first time?
It was, yeah. But I was like, I know I have to watch this. And I was sitting, it was actually a Sunday night. I think it was more like a month ago. It was like before college basketball really ramped up on a Sunday. And I was like, let's watch Coach Carter today.
Dude, it's a great movie.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Samuel L. as a basketball coach,
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie.
Timo Cruz.
Yeah, I will say this, though. Everyone, like, I know ESPN puts out, like, who's the best fictional characters in basketball history, and everyone always, like, has Tito Cruz on their list, and I just want to point out.
He's not that good.
He's not that good?
He's got a jumper. They shoot that corner three you like?
See, I'm always, I already forgot the dude's name with the headband that went D1.
Oh, Battle? Junior Battle?
Yeah, Junior, right?
I think his name was Junior Battle.
Dude, he was nasty. He was their best player. Why isn't he ever on these lists?
Yeah, that's true. Or what about the guy they played in the first game of the season that they ended up losing to in the playoffs? What's his name?
Shit. What is it? Dude, he's so good.
What was his name?
He was the one who gave Junior the problem.
If anyone knows who's the player in Coach Carter, not on the Richmond team, he's on the other team that they played in the first game. They lose them in the playoffs.
Kenyon Stone was the guy that was nice.
Kenyon? Oh, the one with the girl. They
no. Okay, so there was Junior Battle. Which one was better, Kenyon or Junior Battle?
Dude, who's the other guy?
I'm looking at View All right now.
Ty Washington? No.
Ty Crane.
Ty Crane was a beast. Ty Crane was a beast.
I remember they in the opening credits they were saying he's the next LeBron.
Kevin, what do you mean by Marshall? Who wins in a meet-off? Daniel Jones, or Aaron Rodgers? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? My guy Zach Attacks from Richmond, Virginia. Love that. Tommy, for one, says, H-Town, let's go, Third Ward Cougars, U of H all the way. Tommy, I was raised in Richmond, Texas, Richmond, Sugarland area, so I know what that's about. Nicholas saying, Marshall Green, would you trade a third this year and a fourth next for D-Hop? I'll give you one pick. I'd give him one pick, Rolly. And I don't really even think the Giants are going to make another move at the wide receiver position. Gavin saying FAU to the Sweet 16. They're a fun team. Kind of remind me of that one team from Florida a couple years ago. Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't know what.
Dude, they're all super athletic.
Yeah, but I mean, FGCU 2014 Dunk City. 2013.
Yeah, I feel like this team was throwing dunks down yesterday.
No, this team is the best three-point shooting team in the country.
They tried a monster slam at the end.
Yeah, it was quite disrespectful. I've been an FAU hoops truther for the majority of the season, and they kind of lost me rubbing it into FDU, Fairleigh Dickinson, so I'm out on them a little bit now.
They also remind me of George Mason from back in the day. That was before Rolly knew about college hoops, the real outside-in
I'm
offense.
surprised you know a school from the Atlantic 10 Conference.
I know more about ball than you know.
No,
than
you
you think
not.
You could ever know.
Not when it comes to college.
If you love the Giants, go ahead and like this video. We got 169 people watching. My guy Gavin saying please with that. Why are we hating on Florida Gulf Coast? They were a lot of fun. Hit that thumbs up icon, and if you have liked the video, drop a me in the comments section. He said, "Did just say he is out because someone missed?"
No,
that's not even English.
I'm out on FAU because they were beating Fairleigh Dickinson, a 16 seed, in the round of 32, and then with 8 seconds left, Fairleigh Dickinson conceded the game because they were down 8, and the dude tried to throw a windmill 360,
I kind of liked it,
and he missed.
I like it.
And if you're gonna rub it in to a 16 seed, which you should never rub it into a 16 seed because they're just happy to be there, you better make the damn dunk. But the sportsmanship, the lack of sportsmanship, I should say.
Dude, you don't want it to happen? Play better.
Dude, they conceded the game. Give it up. It's a 16 seed. If you were upsetting the 1 seed, which would have been Purdue, and you want to throw it down to put an exclamation point on that upset, sure. But dude, you just beat a 16 seed and they were on your ass all day.
I'm with Gavin. Dude, get over it. Shout out to Red Win, Turtle Power. Laura Weisner is in the chat saying bear down. I'm clearly the Bears' daddy. It's so obvious. You guys, I'm still in your head. Shout out to Carter, Marquise Robertson, Ant Benrod, Lennis Wagner, Carter, Ski. What up, Basil Champ? Turtle Power, my man Gavin saying FAU is the same amount of wins ever in FDU, and you're going to cry about that. Laura says Giants suck, bear down. Why would you franchise tag Barkley over Daniel Jones sucks? Your quarterback is a running back. It's okay, though. If I was a Bears fan, I'd be upset, too, and I'd probably be in a Giants stream as well, rooting on a good football team that won a playoff game. Look, if you're a Bears fan and you just want to say you're a fan of me, you can say that. I think I'm pretty cool. My mom tells me I'm pretty funny, so I appreciate you guys. I'm tuning in from Chicago Bears Now. Oh, man. Turtle Power giving him some – I almost said some really sus shit right there. Turtle Power, 8158, saying we won against the Bears. Shut your mouth. Yeah, imagine picking first in the NFL draft, Rolly, and talking smack. I know you're officially a Bears fan now that you produce Bears free agency all week.
Oh, my God.
But can you at least be a truther and say the Bears suck?
Listen, the Bears were bad last year.
And I'm going to be honest, I think they had a terrible free agency.
You do? So here's the thing.
The number one need for this team was interior play, as in the O-line and D-line and receivers, and they've signed 2 middle linebackers.
So my take on their whole free agency is that they clearly viewed their team needs differently than the public. Now, if you call that a bad free agency, that's what you can call it. But they clearly believed the reason for their terrible run defense was their linebackers and not so much their defensive line. So they felt like they needed to address linebackers first, and they got T.J. Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. I can see where people say Tremaine Edmonds was an overpay, but I thought T.J. Edwards was a really good deal, 3 for $19.5. I thought that was honestly a steal. That's just me. That's unbiased. I don't
want to pay $100 million, though, for my 2 starting middle linebackers.
I get that. But how much is it per season? 25 probably?
It's a lot.
It's probably less, isn't it? So it's about 6 and change for T.J. Edwards, and then what was Edmonds?
Like 5 for 86
No,
or
it's
something?
4 for 72. So what does that come out to?
To 18.
Is it?
That's 18.5, I think.
Yeah, so about 24 then, 25?
That's a lot, dude.
It is, but I will say Edmonds might have been an overpay. T.J. Edwards is a great deal. I thought Nate Davis was a good signing for them as well. But, hey.
I like the DJ Moore trade. I like that.
Their free agency was, I think their offseason has been good just because they've been carried by the trade, really.
Yeah. We do have a mailbag coming up on today's show. We want to get to 2 mailbags, and I want to hear some questions from you guys. This is our chance to interact with all of the real ones watching right now. If you want to have a question answered by me or Rolly here on the show, just use hashtag Giants or Super Chat to get on the show. All Super Chats get up on the screen. We'll pop those up. But if you have a question and you want to comment it down below in the comment section, just include hashtag Giants in your comment section. It's got to look just like that on screen. That way, Rolly, life's easier on Rolly. Hashtag Giants or Super Chat. We want to hear from you guys. You got questions about free agency. You got questions about the roster. You got questions about the draft. You got questions about why the Bears fans are always in our chat watching me. We can answer it all. Laura Wiesner says, how did you lose in your playoff game? Laura, how did you not make the playoffs? Laura, how are you picking first in the NFL draft, Laura? Also, how have you not had a quarterback ever throw for like 40 touchdowns in a season in your franchise's entire history?
I don't know whose quarterback have been worse all time. Is it the Browns or is it the Bears? Which quarterbacks have worse all time? Like the Bears' best quarterback of all time being like Jim McMahon or something.
It's embarrassing.
That's bad.
It's embarrassing.
I will say, to be fair though, the Browns' best quarterback of all time is probably like, I don't even know. Is it Deshaun Watson?
Not yet. It will be. It will be. Hashtag Giants. Shout out to Tenacious Knight getting a question in. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to One Oso, my man. Shout out to Fabrice or Fabrice. I think it's Fabrice. My bad, Brody, if I'm messing that up. Shout out to Spider Mark, Nicholas Boughton, Tom. It might be Jay Cutler, best quarterback in Bears history.
He might be the most talented.
Yeah.
I think the best numbers though for them is McMahon.
Shout out to Swift for getting the question as well as Redwin. Laura, you have to not put a space in between hashtag Giants. Just another L for the Chicago Bears fan base. That's brutal. We do have a Super Chat menu, and I do see some Super Chats are coming up. We'll put those in the mailbag as well. All these questions coming up. My man Carl's in the chat. What up, Carl? Rolly, your boy Carl's in the chat.
That is my boy Carl. I was able to speak to him for the first time ever, like actual
voice to voice.
Voice to voice.
Face to face.
On Saturday. Carl's a passionate Knicks fan. I love it.
We'll be live on our Knicks channel tonight, youtube.com/NY Knicks TV. I don't know what the link is. Knicks Now, just put it in YouTube and it'll come up. Real ones will come up. Every Super Chat, we'll put it up on the screen. We'll give you a shout out. $10 Super Chat, I'll do a fireball shot. $20, we're going to spin the wheel. We got a whole bunch of fun stuff on the wheel. A lot of fun stuff on the wheel if you want to get involved in that. $50. We're going to continue this as we are still in the free agency special. $50 Super Chat, and we're going to add a sticker to the hard hat with your initials on it. Rolly, we're running out of room, but there's still some real estate you can get on this hat.
Listen, it's coming down to the wire, and if you want to be one of the last people
right here
to be on that hard hat, woo, that $50, you see it on the screen. It's what you're going to need to do.
That's what it is. Also, every $150 we get today, me and Rolly will do a beer shot fund race. We got 2 mailbags coming up. We'll talk about free agency. We'll talk about A'Shawn Robinson meeting with the Giants. If a deal happens on the show, we will break that down as well. Robinson is meeting, according to reports, with the Giants right now. So I'm expecting some juice to start coming out around A'Shawn Robinson. Nothing yet, but I would not be surprised. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson just said he was blackballed, but it's good, on why he left Philadelphia. Not sure how that makes sense.
I don't know how it makes sense, but Eagles doing some shady business over there. What's going on?
If the Eagles continue to lose players, I'll call it blackballed. Have they had maybe the worst offseason of any team?
I think they've had to. They've retained Bradbury and Darius Slay, but they lost Javon Hargrave, Kaiser White, T.J. Edwards, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Did you say Sanders?
I'd not say Miles Sanders, but Miles Sanders,
Isaac Seumalo,
Andre Dillard, Isaac Seumalo. They have lost so many instrumental keys, and they are just banking on this 2022 rookie class to step up and fill the voids, whether it be Jordan Davis from Georgia and Nakobe Dean from Georgia. Those two are going to have to replace Hargrave and T.J. Edwards. And I don't know what they plan on doing at the safety position, but we'll have to see. Did they lose Marcus Epps, too?
They lost Marcus Epps.
Yeah.
They also lost Shane Steichen and
Jonathan
Gannon. So imagine when they have to start paying Jalen Hurts.
Which has got to come soon.
I think it happens this offseason.
You'd think. Or are they going to bet? I don't even know.
Why would he play this year if you're not getting a contract extension? You just took a team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You better hope he's actually as good as a lot of people think he is, or that team in Philly. We're going to be singing it. Cry, Eagles, cry on the road to losing games. Cry, Eagles, cry. Hold in the Super Bowl and catch the L. All right, let's get to some Super Chats. Basil Champ, $5 Super Chat. We appreciate it. What do you think about the devaluation of the safety position? Also, imagine how much we have to pay Andrew Thomas after the Tunsil contract. I believe Andrew Thomas is going to be the highest paid tackle in the National Football League when he gets that contract extension. I could almost see him signing the biggest offensive tackle deal in NFL history. And he honestly deserves it. I think he's the best in the business. I think the only person that might be better than him is Trent Richardson. Not Richardson. Trent what? What's his name?
Is it Trent Williams?
Trent Williams. I want to say Trent Richardson. Man, that's a blast.
I almost said Trent Brown, the left tackle for the Patriots, but it's Williams.
Trent Williams is a beast. He's probably still the best. I'll take my guy, but because he's younger and I think he has obviously a lot more years to give in the National Football League. But to answer the question about the safety position, I honestly felt like Rolly, all of free agency kind of was devalued a little bit this year. Like even the linebackers came in less than normal. The receiver market was dry, and then you see safeties like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson getting $8 million per year.
So to comment on that, I think there were 3 players, and only 3, that got paid what they expected to get paid / overpaid. I think it starts with Mike McGlinchey, 5 years, $87.5 to the Broncos. That was an overpay. I mean, Caleb McGarry, who graded out to the same type of player, only got $11 million per year. McGlinchey got more than Orlando Brown, so he got overpaid. I'd say if you want to say overpaid, Jesse Bates to the Falcons, he got $16 million a year for over 4 years, 4 for $64 from the Falcons. Just seeing what other safeties got, like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, you could maybe say it's an overpay. He got almost double than Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, so it's interesting to see that. And then the other one could be Tremaine Edmonds, getting that $17-18 million a year.
Yeah.
So only 3 players really got paid what they wanted to or more than they expected. So it is interesting to see the rest of the league kind of get less coming into free agency than what they expected.
Do you think this is like an owners and general manager meeting, just like with all 32 teams? It's like, we're not going to continue to pay B-level players A-level money in free agency. Like this has been one of the more interesting free agency cycles we've seen.
And listen, this is going to go kind of conspiracy theory on you guys, but could it be that mid-level quarterbacks are commanding so much more money now and teams are paying that money? Like Geno Smith, like the quarterbacks between, even Daniel Jones, I'm sorry, but like between 10 and 20 in the league getting $38-40 million a year, maybe that has a trickle-down effect to where these B-level guys at different positions like safety and linebacker get paid less than what they probably are worth because the quarterbacks are taking up more of that cap space.
Yeah, and you've just seen it like in past years in the NFL. You always have to overpay to get these free agents to come and sign with you. This year, I wouldn't really say a lot of people overpaid. There was no, even though it worked out, there was no Christian Kirk contract this offseason, even though I thought he was a good player. Probably got overpaid at the time, but looking back on it, he's probably worth it. If not, maybe just a tadly overpaid, but he's a good football player. I think it's really interesting, Basil. I don't know what's going on across the NFL, But I definitely think that there was some sort of behind-the-scenes meeting saying, we have to come to an agreement as the tops of these NFL teams, and we're not going to cash out these B-level free agents like we used to. And you definitely saw it come to fruition this year in the offseason. Appreciate the $5 super chat, Basil. Aunt Ben Rod, 99, my man. What up, Brody? Said Giants need to trade a second and third round pick for Mike Evans. I'm getting some tweets right now. Let me see. Yeah. I would say no to the second and third for Mike Evans. Not because he's not worth that, but you have to start thinking about the salary cap for the Giants. I know it's a myth, and I'm always someone that says, don't be a salary cap nerd, but I just don't know if the Giants can create the flexibility that they want to without sacrificing the long-term future to fit Mike Evans on a deal. And also, he's 30 years old. I know he's super talented. I mean, Rolly thinks he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and probably honestly will. You go look at the stats. I think he has 1,000 yards every year of his career. Do you want to give up a second and third round pick and pay him $25 million per year, and then probably have to give him a contract extension? Of course he'd make the Giants better. Of course he'd be their number one wide receiver. But I think the Giants' big move was Darren Waller. I don't think that they're going to go out and make another trade for a wide receiver. You already gave up a third round pick. See ya, Lara, loser. Yeah, I don't know. If you didn't trade for Waller, I would say yes. But honestly, Rolly, I don't think Tampa would even accept that trade.
A second and third could have done. What does the chart of value say? Because I think 1 first might be able to get it for Mike Evans, because he is like 29, I think. So.
Yeah. Hollywood Brown went for a first at the trade deadline. Chase Claypool went for pick number 32.
That was a disaster class by the Bears, though.
A.J. Brown went for a first and a fourth. Tyreek Hill went for like 5 picks. Devontae Adams went for multiple firsts. I think you'd have to give up a first to get Mike Evans. And I don't really think I don't think Joe Shane is in the business of giving up a first-round pick for a wide receiver right now, especially one that's 30 years old. I think it would have to be a younger guy like Brandon Ayuk, but I don't necessarily think the Giants are still in the market for trading for a wide receiver.
Looks like Johnson Yu is a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan now.
Is he in the chat?
Yeah, he said #Buccaneers Nation, let's ride.
What up, Johnson Yu? Turtle Power. The reason Lara is so disappointed with her Bears is because I went on to our Chicago Bears Now channel, and I pretty much bodied their whole existence as a franchise and really went and stirred the pot on there, and they just, look, I did what I did. I put the Marshy effect on them, and now they love me, and now they're watching our shows. Look, I have that effect on a lot of people. Basil Champ with a $2 super chat says the Eagles will have a ton of comp picks in 2024. That is true. That is true. That's something that, as Laura says, F Marsh. I'm so in your head, Laura. I am so in your head. Don't dream about me too much when you sleep at night. Turtle Power says F Laura. Kevin says dub Marsh. It was a dub. Look at her. Residual effects. Everyone, I'm not even telling people to say it, and they're saying it. That is true. The Eagles will have a bunch of comp picks. You're going to get one for Sanders and Sayamalu and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and they didn't really spend money in free agency. That's a good point, Basil. That's a really good point. The Eagles will have a bunch of draft picks in the 2024 NFL draft. You subbed, Laura L. Facts. Appreciate the sub. Make sure you like the video and watch the ads. If you want to be featured on a mailbag coming up, go ahead and use #Giants. Redwin says, go to your favorite chat sports channel. Thing is, Redwin, I am her favorite. We are her favorite. That's why she's watching us. That's why she's watching us. She loves Marshy. She loves herself some Marshy. Use #Giants or Super Chat to get on the show. We got a bunch of questions, I believe, that came in. So if you want to skip the line, you got a super chat to get on the show. We're going to stick around live for a little bit, hoping that the Giants sign A'Shawn Robinson. We got to be off live at 6:15 Eastern time. So that is a hard cutoff for us today because we got to be live on our Knicks channel at 6:30 Eastern time. Jay Liv also rocking with the Wolves. You guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious. If you want to start the show, go ahead and like this video. Hit that thumbs up icon for us. We got 320 people watching and only 80 likes. Those are rookie numbers. Those are rookie numbers. If we can get to 200 likes, I know that there's 120 people watching right now that have not liked the video. If we can get to 200 likes in the next minute and a half, me and Rolly are each going to take a shot. If we can get to 200 likes, me and Rolly are going to take a shot. Let's go. We're at 91 likes, 322 people watching. We need 109 people to hit that thumbs up icon. If you want to start the show, if you want us to get with the mailbags and tell you about A'Shawn Robinson and maybe Odell Beckham Jr. coming back to the Giants and answer some questions about the draft, go ahead and like this video. And if you have liked the video, type me in the comment section. Go ahead and drop a me in the comment section so we can give you a shout out here on the channel.
Here's the thing, Marsh. I just got word from our bosses and said, yeah, you're allowed to take a shot each for 200 likes, but you can't start the show until we get to 200 likes. So I don't know what to tell you guys.
83 away.
If you want us to talk Giants ball on our mailbags and answer your guys' questions and super chats, you guys have to get 80 more likes because this is flat out unacceptable.
The fact there's 320 people watching, we have 120 likes. That's not okay. I'm embarrassed.
You want Laura to come watch our Giants show and then see us put up these sad numbers? This is honestly embarrassing, and it's a bad precedent to set.
It is true. It is true. Laura still in the chat. Why do you guys are friends with Harrison? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. 67 likes away. Let's go. Hit that thumbs up icon. We're not starting the show until we get to 200. I know there's 67 people watching that haven't liked the video. That's upsetting. That's upsetting. Harrison is a Minnesota Viking. Jay Liv says, damn straight, Coop.
Don't disrespect me like that, Jay Liv. Come on now.
Jay Liv, throwing haymakers.
You can't be calling me Coop and then going over to the Raiders report and be super chatting, man. You just can't be doing that.
Which word travels fast in the streets at Chat Sports, Jay Liv. You tell him, Rolly. I just don't get it. Yo, Elvis, 200 real people and 100 NPC. What does that mean?
NPC is non-playable characters. I love Jay Liv. I just like messing with you. Yeah, non-playable character.
Are you saying we got bots in here?
So like NPCs are like when you play the video games, like GTA 5, for example. Like you're strolling around doing your thing, and you got those little side dudes that you run over with your car and you potentially like take money from. Those are NPCs.
Gotcha.
It is kind of calling you a bot. That's pretty much a dumb way down of saying it. Listen, we still got 49 likes until we can start the video.
And we're losing audience, man. This is crazy. We're down to 300 people watching. 49 likes away.
I don't know what happened over this weekend, Giants fans, but it has it's been disappointing.
We did get a super chat. We could pop that up real quick. Pop that soup up. Let's get to 200 likes. Let's go. No reason we shouldn't be there. Hit that thumbs up icon. Johnson, you with a $5 super chat.
This is a good one, Marsh. What would you offer OBJ? What's the sweet number between 4 million and 20 million? Hashtag Bears Nation. Hashtag F Marsh. Hashtag F Rolly.
That's funny. T Savage, my man in the chat, says Shorty's drunk. Nicholas says, Marshall, what do you think about it would take sign OBJ? Let's save this for the mailbag. I don't think we're going to get there, so we're just going to have to start it anyways.
Wow, this is horrible.
This is brutal.
What a disaster class for Giants now. Not even be able to hit 200 likes when you have 300 people watching.
Nicking around said, I guess this is the new way to panhandle legally. What does that even mean? You guys are just crazy. You guys are crazy. 35 likes away. Alrighty. If you want to be featured on the show, go ahead, use hashtag Giants, or you got a super chat to skip the line. We got 2 mailbags. Alrighty, let's get it. What up, everybody? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit me up on Twitter, at @MarshallGreen_. We could talk ball over there. I want to interact with more Giants fans on Twitter, so give me a follow, at @MarshallGreen_. We got a mailbag in today's show. Let's get into it. Basil Champ with a $5 super chat. We appreciate it. What do you think about the devaluation of the safety position? Also, imagine how much we have to pay Andrew Thomas after the Tunsil contract. You're 100% right, and I'll start with the bottom part. Andrew Thomas is probably going to be the highest paid tackle in the National Football League when he and Joe Schoen and his representation sit down and they work on a contract extension. I would bet that they're going to start negotiating this summer. I bet the same goes for Dexter Lawrence. I think they're going to try to get a deal done with both those guys pretty soon here. Just keep the cap health good and in a good spot. The devaluation of the safety position is real. You saw, obviously, Jesse Bates get a lot of money from the Atlanta Falcons, but every other safety that's really good in free agency didn't get more than $8 million. It was really a range from Chauncey Gardner-Johnson getting $8 million to Julian Love getting $6 million with the Seattle Seahawks, and then everybody in between. I feel like nobody really got overpaid just drastically in NFL free agency this year. I don't know if there was an owners meeting saying we're not going to overpay people, we're not going to pay B-level free agents A-level money anymore, but it was definitely interesting to see it unfold, and I think you're seeing Odell Beckham, a guy, kind of suffer from that as well. The wide receiver market, I thought, was extremely low as well during the free agency week 1 period. Thank you for the super chat, Basil. Ant Ben Rod said Giants need to trade a second and third round pick for Mike Evans. I'd honestly say no. And not that I don't think Mike Evans is good. Not that I don't think Mike Evans wouldn't be the number 1 receiver or that he wouldn't make this football team better. But are the Giants a Mike Evans away from winning a Super Bowl? I would say no. And for that reason alone, I don't want to sacrifice a second and third round pick for him for a guy that's 30 years old who probably had his best seasons behind him. And also, you'd have to give him a lot of money going forward. Probably would want a new contract. And I think the Giants want to continue to build through the draft. You heard Joe Schoen talk about that so often when he took over as a general manager last offseason, replacing Dave Gettleman. And he's built through the draft, but he also made a trade for a tight end. He also signed a couple of players this offseason. I think he wants to get back to the roots of what he believes is the formula for building a Super Bowl contender year in and year out, and that's through the draft, and that's why I don't think the Giants are going to make another big trade. And Ben, we appreciate it. I think Mike Evans is great. I just don't know if Joe Schoen's going to make another trade. Johnson, my man, with a $5 super chat. What would you offer OBJ? What's the sweet number between $4 million and $20 million? Hashtag Bears Nation. Hashtag FMarshFroley. So there's a report that a team offered Odell Beckham Jr. $4 million. He refuted the reports that he's asking for $20 million. I think it'd probably take anywhere from $6 to $7 million per year to get a deal done with Odell Beckham Jr. Reports came out that he was looking for a long-term deal. I don't think that's in the cards for OBJ. I think he's going to have to take a 1-year prove-it deal. I think 1 year, $5, $6, $7 million could get it done. I think the Giants may have been the team that offered him 1 year, $4 million, to be quite frank with you. Odell's special. I don't think the Giants are going to make a move on him unless he accepts that $4 million, $5 million deal. Giants have their price point, and I think Joe Schoen is a stiff negotiator and not going to budge on his price. What would I offer OBJ? 1 year, $5 million with incentives that can get it up to $10 million. That's the deal that I'd offer OBJ. I wouldn't offer him more than a 1 year deal, especially not with a lot of guaranteed money. I want to ask all the real ones out there, though, right now. Do you want the Giants to sign Odell Beckham Jr.? What do you think? What do you think? This is a hot topic right now between a lot of Giants fans. I still do think they need a number one wide receiver. I still think they need more talent at the receiver position. Signing Paris Campbell and Darius Slayton to short-term deals doesn't mean, and Sterling Shepard doesn't mean you still don't need wide receivers. You don't pass on a wide receiver at 25 that you think can be legit because you have Sterling Shepard on a 1-year deal and Darius Slayton on a 2-year deal, as well as Paris Campbell. Could it be OBJ? Type OBJ for yes, or no BJ. No BJ for no. Nicholas, my man, trade for Jerry Jeudy, 3rd and a 4th next year. I'd say no again on a trade for Jerry Jeudy. There were rumors and reports that came out from Pat Leonard that the Giants were extremely interested in trading for Jerry Jeudy at the NFL trade deadline. I don't even think a 3rd and a 4th really gets it done for Jerry Jeudy. You saw Chase Claypool go for a 2nd-round pick. That's been another disaster, but it's just really the start of his career and tenure with the Chicago Bears. I like Jeudy. I don't love him, and I have to love a wide receiver to give him a 3rd and 4th-round pick. If I'm trading for a wide receiver, I need them to be a bona fide, proven number one wide receiver. I think Jeudy could be that guy, but he's not been that guy yet in his NFL career, and he's also a guy that's going to need a contract extension coming pretty soon. What he's been in the league 3 years, or 4 years? 3 years, 4 years? His rookie deal is going to end up being over pretty soon, either at the end of this year or next year. Meaning you have to pay him money. He's probably worth it, but I'd rather just go out and draft a receiver in the 3rd or 4th round instead of drafting Jerry Jeudy right now. Swift, with us retaining Slayton, Hodgins, and signing Campbell, do you see us taking linebacker or corner in the 1st round or possibly a trade down? I said a second ago, but Slayton, Hodgins, and Campbell doesn't take you out of the need for the wide receiver position. Whereas I think paying a guy like you did on the defensive side of the ball and Bobby Okereke, I think that does take you out of the need for a linebacker in round 1. You gave this guy 4 years, $40 million. I think that takes you out of wanting to draft a linebacker in round 1. I still think you're looking at either a corner, a wide receiver, or an interior offensive lineman with pick number 25. And I like what you brought up. I think a trade down is definitely a possibility for Big Blue. If the Giants feel this is more of a deeper draft than a top-heavy draft and they can get the same guy at 25 that they can get at 36, I think a trade down would be in store for Joe Shane. Kind of recoup some of those picks that you gave up in that Darren Waller trade, get more throws at the dartboard and try to nail those picks. I think a trade down is definitely something the Giants will think about. I think you still need a receiver. I think the 3 positions of need are still receiver, corner, and interior offensive line. Good question, Swift. I really appreciate that. We'll get to more questions coming up here in a second. But first, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because we are getting closer and closer to 26,000 subs here on the channel. Before free agency last week, one of my coworkers told me that this channel, Giants Now, is at 6,000 subscribers before free agency opened. We've gained 20,000 in the past year. Let's keep the ball rolling. When the Giants make a move, we make a videos every day on Big Blue. Hit that sub button, and let's frickin' ride. Fabrice, my man, when should we address our secondary issues? I think in the draft is where you're going to look with that. And I don't even think that you're really all that thin at the cornerback spot. If we have that depth chart in there, Rolly, I'd like to pop that up if possible. I've been a guy that has said the Giants need to go and add more people to that cornerback depth chart. But I kind of like the spot that it's in right now. Obviously, I'd like a more talented player in that position. But I do think 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round for Brees could be a spot where you look at the cornerback spot and try to get a blue chip prospect. I don't think you're going to go out and pay a wide receiver, a corner. I thought Marcus Peters could be someone the Giants were interested in. Those ties back to Baltimore with Wink Martindale. I just think that ship has kind of sailed. Unless you're going to get Marcus Peters on a cheap 1-year, $3 million deal for prove-it money. I wouldn't be against bringing a guy back like Fabian Morrow, who played really, really well for Big Blue last year. You do got to get better at this room, but I don't think it's as big of a need as some people are talking about. Adoree Jackson, we know he is a special outside corner, and he was great for the Giants last year. Darnay Holmes, he's a solid slot, not a great slot. You could definitely look to upgrade that slot position. Aaron Robinson, a lot of people forget about him. I'm even a victim of forgetting about Aaron Robinson. I thought that he played really, really well in year 1 for the Giants, suffered that season-ending injury early in the season. And then you got Cordell Flott you drafted in the 3rd round. Nick McLeod played some good snaps for you. Yes, you still need another corner, but I don't think it's by all means you have to draft a corner in round 1. I also like Rodarius Williams a little bit. He's not great. I think he's a good depth piece. I'm looking for Flott to take that next step this year and be a starter on this team. Pizza. Pazisi. Pizza. Can't win without O-line or D-line. Money well spent. I agree. You win in the trenches, and I thought that game against the Eagles showed you that you were a team that had to improve inside the trenches. They dominated you at the point of attack on the line of scrimmage, and you really added a lot of depth to your defensive line. Rakeem Nunez-Roches. He's a player that a lot of people didn't know about, that I didn't know about. But the more film I watch on him, the more I talk to people in Tampa, the more I just take a deep dive into Nacho, a.k.a. Nunez-Roches. He's a good player, and he's a pro. He is a pro. When you needed another pro on this defensive line, now you got him and Jihad Ward. I think you still need another edge rusher. You could look at the draft at that spot. Maybe a guy like Leonard Floyd in free agency. O-line. You haven't really improved it yet in free agency, but remember, Marcus McKeithen, he's coming off a season-ending injury, as well as Joshua Azudu, the 2 North Carolina interior offensive linemen. I think Joe Shane is expecting for Azudu to be that starting left guard for this team. He was a 3rd-round pick last year, top 100 pick. Year 2 of a player that was drafted in the top 100 of the draft. You're expecting them to be a starter. And if you get Azudu to be a reliable starter for this team, that's going to be a big boost for this interior offensive line. I still think they could draft a center as early as round 1, definitely in the first 3 rounds. Grade the Giants' free agency so far. A lot of moves are still to be made. You got to fill out this roster. You got to get to 90 people. I think they're still going to make some moves. I don't expect them to be big money moves, though. But what do you think? Grade what the Giants have done and factor in the Darren Waller trade as well, because that's a part of free agency. A, B, C, D, or F? I'd say B+. I think B+. I think Joe Shane's done a hell of a job. B+. Red Win, my man, is Saquon Barkley leaving the Giants? No, he is not leaving the Giants as of now. What we're seeing, no, he's going to play under the franchise tag. I expect him to play under the franchise tag. I think a long-term deal could still be on the table for Saquon Barkley, but with the way running backs are being paid right now, I think he lost himself some money, and I think that he should have accepted that deal that they offered him that was reportedly worth $13 million annually. Frank White, my man, with a $5 super chat. As much as I want OBJ, don't think we're going to get another wide receiver in free agency, so which wide receiver is worth moving up in the draft to get, if not at 25? The only wide receiver I think that is worth moving up for is Jackson Smith-Njigba. He is my wide receiver 1. I just like what he does. I think he's the most talented wide receiver in the draft, and I think he has the best tape in the draft. I like that he is an elite athlete when it comes to short area quickness. I think he's got the whole route tree in his bag, and he's someone that has proven that he can get loose after the catch and get upfield and get that yak. I like Jackson Smith-Njigba. I don't know if I want to trade up for him, though. And he's not really, not that he's not an outside receiver, but he's more of a slot receiver than outside. In this offense, you're going to play all over, and he is 100% capable of doing so. I like Zay Flowers, and I like Jordan Addison at 25. Jackson Smith-Njigba's there. He's going to be a New York Giant. I truly do believe that. If I had to rank my receivers, we'll go the first round guys. I'd go Jackson Smith-Njigba. I would go Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, then Quentin Johnston. Not the biggest fan of Quentin Johnston, 6'2" only, 6'3", but he doesn't play like it. He's a body catcher, and I think his route tree is limited. He's a good player. I'll be happy if the Giants get him, but he's just not one of my higher-rated guys in this draft. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's Giants Now video. Love answering questions from the real ones, because we're nothing out on this channel without all of you guys supporting every video like you guys do. Appreciate it. If you made it this far in the video, hit that thumbs up icon, and we'll see you later.
Did you see John Feliciano signed with the San Francisco 49ers?
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
That just came across the wire here 2 minutes ago. Kim Jones having it first. She tweeted out, John Feliciano tells Newsday he has signed a 1-year deal with the 49ers. Giants lose a veteran on the offensive line and a great locker room guy. So Kim Jones reporting Feliciano to the 49ers.
Wow. I thought he was coming back. You guys should do a short on that real quick. I can just say it right here. You want to clip it? 1 year? Okay. It doesn't matter. It's going to be, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Breaking news surrounding the New York Football Giants. John Feliciano is signing a 1-year deal to leave Big Blue. He is signing with the San Francisco 49ers. This is a guy that I definitely thought the Giants were going to bring back. Obviously has those ties with Joe Shane and Brian Dable dating back to his Buffalo days. I thought he played well for the Giants. And with the Giants letting Nick Gates go and sign with Washington, I thought Feliciano was going to be the guy they brought back. But they didn't, which means the Giants have a hole at the starting center spot. And I think they're going to address that in the NFL draft. Wow. That's a shocker for me. That is a shocker. Not like losing John Feliciano is something that's just going to tear your offensive line apart, but I thought he was coming back. I thought he was a good weapon. I thought he was a good locker room guy, a good player, a good leader. I'm kind of shocked by that. I'm interested to see the figures that he agreed to with San Francisco. Wow. That's a shocker. That's a shocker. Wow. That's something. I don't think he got the bag, Carl. It's just a 1-year deal. Wow. I am kind of blown away by that. John Feliciano. That means you could see the Giants take a center early. What's the guy, John Michael Schmitz? He's probably the number 1 rated center out of Minnesota in this draft. Maybe it's Ben Bredesen that's going to be your starting center. And you have Joshua Zudu at your left guard spot. Wow. Feliciano going to the Niners. That's a good gift for them. He's a good player. Not a great player, but a good player. Yeah, he's going to be there at 25, Carl. I believe he will. You don't really see centers go that early in the NFL draft. I even think 25 may be a tick too early for him. Wow. That means I got to start doing some more film work on these center positions. Yeah, Poland. I don't know what's going on with Laura. She is in shambles that she's a Bears fan is what it seems like. Yep, scrapper. Scaper. Scaper equals mid. John Feliciano is signing a 1-year deal with the San Francisco 49ers. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Was not expecting that. Chris Brown says, thoughts on the Giants signing Leonard Johnson, 3-year deal. So Johnson is a guy, got my boy John Feliciano. Yeah, go ahead. You want to hop on the mic? Yeah, so in our 49ers report host, Jay Senior's in the studio right now.
What up?
I think he's a good player, not a great player. Came from Buffalo last year. He never played center really before in his NFL career. He played center with Buffalo, but he always felt like he was a center, and I think he started all 17 games for the Giants. He's a good player, man. Better run blocker than pass blocker. But like, it just kind of like, are there any money out there yet?
I didn't see any money, but they lost this guy Daniel Brunskill, who basically played tackle, center, and guard. So I think they're looking at him as basically that replacement as a backup. But he's going to have an opportunity. Yes, they re-signed Jake Brendel to a 4-year deal. So I think they're looking at him as a guy who can spot star at either guard or center. It's also not a sure thing that he's not going to start at guard, at right guard.
Yeah, he could definitely start at guard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he did when he was part of the Bills. I'm kind of shocked by this, honestly, because the Giants needed him. He was their starting center, and you let Nick Gates go in free agency. Now you don't have a starting center.
Interesting.
He's great locker room guy, very loud, very passionate, likes to talk trash. He'll be a fan favorite if he plays, for the Niners. I think it's a good pickup for y'all. I do. I think he's definitely going to be a guy that you guys can use. And like you said, the versatility. You can play center guard. I don't know if he could play tackle. I don't know if he has before, but more of an interior guy.
Appreciate you, bro.
Shout out to Chase Sr., always doing firework over there. Here at Chat Sports as well. Man, I'm kind of fucked up about that. Giants need a center. Wow. Like, if that's a 1-year, $2 million deal, I think that kind of tells you what the Giants thought of him. If we get money on that, we'll let you know. Yeah, center for the Giants. You shadow banned me on Twitter, dude.
I didn't shadow ban you.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. No one's going to see my reply.
Falcons are hosting former Vikings first-round pick cornerback Mike Hughes on a visit. Someone just sent me this edit of DeAndre Hopkins in a Giants jersey. I'd love it. But what are you going to give up? How are you going to afford him? I'm with you, Carl. I think Ben Bredesen is going to slide in at your starting center. I think Ben Bredesen is going to be your starting center. Unless you have a rookie that comes in and... Wow. Kind of crazy. Nelson Aguilar visiting with the Ravens. I thought Nelson Aguilar was a guy that the Giants could look at. Obviously, they did not. But I thought he could be. Cheap wide receiver. He's had some good years in the past. Wow. John Feliciano, no longer a part of the New York Football Giants. That's crazy. Carl, but my thing with that, Carl, is I'm a guy of positional value as well and using that to reflect in the draft. But what I would say is, Carl, what if I told you? What if I told you the Giants picked John Michael Schmitz with pick number 25, and he's your starting center for the next 12 years? That seems like a pick well worth it to me. Like, I know, Rolly, people are always like, you can't draft a center in the first round. You can't draft a guard. You can't draft a running back. But what if they're a starter for the next 10 years? Like, then it's worth it. There's so many busts in the draft that if you know a guy is going to be good for a long time, freaking pick him. Like you need more starters. And if you get one at 25, I don't care what position he plays.
Well, that was kind of like the argument for when the Giants drafted Saquon Barkley. It's like, when the Giants pick Barkley, he's going to be an unbelievable player at his position for at least 5 years. So it's like, how can you pass up on such a sure thing? I mean, I think at 25, if a center that Joe Shane and company believes is the New York Giants starting center for 10 years is there at 25, then how can you shy away from drafting him and risk losing him in early round 2? Like, this becomes an immediate position of need for New York, so why not address it if your guy is there and the person you believe in is draftable? And I kind of agree with you. Like, who cares what position they play?
And I'm going to even push back on this. Jay Liv says you can't draft a punter or kicker in the first round. Punter, I agree. But I believe if there was a redraft, when Justin Tucker was selected, he would be a first-round pick.
Oh, I think if you're talking like that draft class, yeah. I thought you meant like in the entire league, Justin Tucker going in the first round.
No, like if you redid that draft.
Yeah.
How could you not take Justin Tucker in round 1?
I mean, the Raiders didn't they do draft Sebastian Janikowski in the first round
in round 1.
So he was pretty good for a while.
You get a starter for 8, 9, 10 years. I don't care what position it is. That's a good pick in the first round. Not saying I want the Giants to draft a kicker or punter, but man, John Feliciano, no longer a Giant. Rolly, who's your source?
I kind of told you guys who tweeted it first, but I don't know if you see it on Marshall's Twitter, a little tongue-in-cheek with Matthew Peterson. But no, Kim Jones had it first.
Yeah, Kim Jones. She's an awesome beat reporter for the Giants. I don't know if she still works for NFL Network. I know she did.
She said she works for Newsday.
Newsday now? Okay, she used to be with the network. Wow, I'm going to look up the best left centers in NFL free agency.
I don't think it's too good.
I don't think it is either. Has McGovern signed?
Yes. Wait, which McGovern? There was 2. There was a Jets and there was a Cowboys.
They're the same name.
I know, but there's 2 of them.
Did they both sign?
One of them did. I don't know which one was.
Which one's better?
So one of them signed with the Dallas Cowboys. Connor McGovern signed with the Buffalo Bills. I do remember that now. I think the New York Jets Connor McGovern is still out there.
Okay.
I'm gonna answer.
Connor McGovern is still out there.
Which one?
Jets.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Ethan Posich.
No, he re-signed.
Are you sure?
With the Browns.
Spotrac says no.
I'm fairly confident Ethan Posich resigned. I'm gonna look this up.
Could be a thing, a fault
where
in
they
theirs.
don't have the contract yet.
Yeah. Rodney Hudson is available. Ben Jones, Pat Elfine.
Yeah, Ben Jones is the number 1 center out there. I know that.
Ben Jones over McGovern.
Yes, Ben Jones is really good.
McGovern's only 29 though, and according to his market value, average annual salary is 12.5, according to Spotrac.
What about Ben Jones?
They don't have it for him.
How old is he though?
33.
I didn't know he was that old.
Will Clapp, Kyle Fuller, Nick Martin, Matt Skura, J.C. Hassenyor.
Yeah. March 15th, 2023.
Posich is off.
Re-signed to a 3-year deal with the Browns. I was pretty confident about that.
Spotrac, slipping.
I was very confident about that. We did get a $2 super chat for Go For Jaden. Sign OBJ, Joey Porter Jr., first round center, second round.
I love that.
If he's there at 25, Joey Porter Jr. would be a sick pick.
He's not there.
No, he's not there. I think he'll go in the top 20.
Yeah.
I think the top 3 corners will be in the top 20 of the draft. Christian Gonzalez, Devin Witherspoon, and Joey Porter Jr. all seem kind of like locks to me to go in the top 20. I really want my New England Patriots to draft one of them at 14, preferably Joey Porter Jr., because he's a freak athletic player. And not even like speed-wise, he has the longest arms.
He's
like
physical.
Like his percentile of arm wingspan, like you can't see me extend my arms, is literally 99th. Like his arms wingspan is unbelievable. He's a physical corner. He'll get his hand on balls a lot. Pause. Joey Porter Jr. is going to be so good. So if he was there at 25, it'd be a home run pick for the Giants. Barber, Shaq, $2 super chat saying drafting an RB at 2 was the wrong pick. That's facts. You can say that, but like the argument going into it.
Who was the pick?
What?
Who should have been the pick? I'll ask him Barber, Shaq. You can't say that if you can't tell me who the pick should have been.
Oh, no shit. The Texans just signed Dalton Schultz to a 1-year deal, $9 million.
The Cowboys lose again!
Wow.
Suck it, Downey.
Breaking news here on Giants Now. Dalton Schultz signs a 1-year deal worth up to $9 million with the Houston Texans. It's a prove-it deal for Dalton Schultz, 1 year. That's very similar probably to the Mike Gesicki deal, who Mike Gesicki signed with New England, a 1 year, $4.5 million deal, up to $9 million. It's probably going to be very similar. Dalton Schultz to Houston. Doesn't leave the Lone Star State, just goes south a little bit from Dallas.
Jay Liv says the Giants should have drafted Sam Darnold over Saquon Barkley.
Oh, that sure would have
That's a
worked
bad
out.
take. Should
That
they have
sure
drafted
would have worked
Denzel Ward? Maybe.
Ward wasn't going 2, though, not even in that conversation.
Bradley Chubb at 5.
That's the one where you could probably get away with saying they could have drafted him.
But he hasn't even really been all that great in his career. Had a couple great years, but he's been hurt a lot. Number 6, Quentin Nelson. Were you going to take a guard at 2? No. Josh Allen at 7. No one was taking Josh Allen at 2.
Didn't that? No, I thought that is my facts would have been wrong there. I would have said, didn't the Bills trade up for him? But no, I think they just had him at 7.
I think they did.
Yeah, I don't think they traded.
They did.
Oh, they did trade up?
From Tampa Bay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, then I was right. I know ball.
Roquan Smith. Were you taking him at 2?
No chance.
Mike McGlinchey? Josh
chance.
Rosen?
No.
Minka Fitzpatrick? Vita Vea? Deron Payne? Marcus Davenport? Colton Miller? Tremaine Edmonds? Derwin James? Jair Alexander? Who were you taking it to? Sure, I don't like the positional value of a running back being taken at 2, but maybe Denzel Ward should have been the pick. Not one of those quarterbacks. You weren't taking Josh Allen at 2. I got you, J-Liv. I got you. So, Barber Shack, let me know. Who would you have taken it to? And if you say Josh Allen, you're a liar. So don't say that. Yeah. I don't know. You were in a tough spot. Chris Brown says, did you answer the contract details? For Leonard. It's a 3-year deal, but it's only a 3-year deal if he makes the roster. He was an undrafted free agent in 2021, did not play in the 2022 season due to a torn ACL. He gets the UDFA contract. All UDFAs sign 3-year deals, but they have to make the roster for that 3-year deal to kick into. It's going to be a veteran minimum or a minimum deal. He's not even a veteran. It's a minimum deal for Leonard Johnson. It's a camp body. It's an extra body. My man Cha, Mr. Rick. What up, Mr. Rick? Good to see you in the chat. Mr. Rick, I had me, Rolly, Coop, and Seeps sign the ball for you. We're going to get that sent out as soon as our shipping team takes care of that. Shout out to you, Mr. Rick. John says, do you think Cordell Flott can step up and get the job done? I do think that, and I think that's kind of what the Giants are really kind of depending on. Barber Shack says, Quentin Nelson, Bradley Chubb, or a QB should have been the pick. We'll pop that up on screen. Shout out to Barber Shack. So let's go through Bradley Chubb right here, Rolly. Had a great rookie year, right? Played in 16 games, had 12 sacks. The next year, he played in 4 games and had 1 sack. Then in 2020, he played in 14 games, had 7.5 sacks. Then in 2021, he played in 7 games and had 0 sacks. That doesn't sound like that productive of a player to me. In fact, Denver traded him. And then in 2022, he had 8 sacks. Good player, not a great player. Quentin Nelson, you're telling me you would have drafted an offensive guard at number 2. Never would have happened. And then a QB. What QB? Sam Darnold sucked. Josh Rosen sucked. And if you were the guy that just knew Josh Allen was the guy, then you probably shouldn't be commenting on YouTube videos. You should probably be working in a front office for the National Football League. I would have been fine with Nelson or Chubb, but I don't think either of them has turned out. Nelson has. He's an all-time great, but you're not drafting a guard at 2, man. Come on. Come on. We appreciate the super chat, Barber Shack. I'm not coming at you. I just like having these heated debates. You know ball, clearly.
The Texans add more. Devin Singletary signs with the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are the king of signing a veteran to a 1-year deal. I mean, Jimmy Ward, I think, did it. Now Schultz, now Singletary. They're just piling up all the veterans on 1-year deals.
And the D-linemen. Paid him like $10 million.
Which one?
I want to say it was Richardson, Sheldon Richardson.
Was it?
Was that him? Texans also paid big money for a vet. My man Matt Bazemore with a $10 super chat. We appreciate you, Matt. What's up, Giants Now? Matt Dog is here. The party starts now. I'm down to party, Matt. You know I'm always down to party. $10 super chat from Matt. I'm going to take a shot of Fireball. We do have a super chat menu today. Rolly can run you guys through that as I take this shot from my man Matt.
Well, every super chat is a shout out, and we have been shouting you guys out and debating with you guys all day long on your super chats. As you saw, Marshall just take that shot. That's for every $10. Every $10 super chat equals a Fireball shot. $20. We spin the wheel. We have not spun the wheel yet.
We have not spun the wheel yet.
I have took time to make this wheel for you guys, and it doesn't seem like we're going to even get to use it. It makes me sad. $50 super chat earns you a sticker on the Hard Hat Hall of Fame, which we are running out of room on. Marshall's going to show it here. Yeah, as you can see, it's packed with stickers, but there are a few spots left. Hey, once it gets filled up, it's officially done. So if you want to get on that hard hat, don't waste your time. And every $150, Marsh and I will do a beer shot fun race. We are currently at $38, so still 112 away from that. Not a lot of super chats on today's show, Marsh.
Not that many, but I think we're just getting cooking. We're just getting cooking. We do have to sign off in 45 minutes. So if you want to get your stuff in, now's the time. Now's the time. Atlantic Lion says Sexy Dexy did take Leonard Williams and wondered, yeah. Look, we can argue about the number 2 pick till we're blue in the face. I just don't know who the better option was. Sure, if you want to do just a talent redraft, sure, Quentin Nelson should have been the pick. Who was drafting an offensive guard at number 2? Maybe a trade down. I would have been okay with that. A trade down would have made sense, but not simply just drafting someone else at 2. The only other player that I think could have been fair was Denzel Ward, and he wasn't even that good this year.
Bryce Caswell is saying type R in the chat if you miss Rolly. I'm right here. What are you talking about, Bryce?
He's right there.
I'm confused. What could you miss of me? I'm here.
I just saw your reply on Twitter. I'm dead.
Oh, well, Mike, that's very kind. He says Rolly is cute.
Wow, I could not believe John Feliciano is gone. Not that he's a great player, Rolly.
Bryce, that cracked me up. I'm sorry.
Bryce, that's great. That's great. Save some for us.
C-Note is in the chat. C-Note, you better be in our Knicks versus Heat live stream Wednesday night because you know it's round 3. We're down 0-2 in the series, C-Note. You need to have my back on Wednesday night again.
So we have y'all Wednesday and then one more time?
Yes. It's actually the following Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
C-Note said he'll be there.
Oh! Frank White! Bang!
With the 50-piece. My man Frank is a legend. He's going on the hard hat. Frank, what up, Brody?
Oh, Frank, what a legend. He says, is there any players left in free agency that can fill a need? Well, of course there are.
You got need at center now.
Jay Liv, what's with this, my man? He's saying type C in the chat if you want Coop, S if you want Seeps. Jay Liv hates me. Sad life to see.
Why is Jay Liv hating on Rolly? Shout out to my man Frank White. Been showing love all year long. Frank, you're my man. I appreciate you. You want to just roll through those top 20 free agents left? These are according to Tom Downey, who is our NFL guru here at Chat Sports. As I try to find, I think this is it. This is a good spot for Frankie right here.
As Marshall puts on Frank White to the Hard Hat Hall of Fame, you guys see it there.
There it is, Frank W, FW right there. There's not a lot of room left.
We're still running out. Red Win, that is not me spamming that. So I don't know who that is.
That's probably McCullough. Frank, we'll go through Chat Sports'. These aren't all my rankings. These are Chat Sports rankings. So yell at Chat Sports, not just me. But fix 19's headshot real quick. Baby Taylor. Why? How does that happen sometimes? Weird. Here is our Chat Sports top 20 free agents left. At number 20, Rolly, you got Ezekiel Elliott.
Well, listen, I don't think the Giants are going to be in the market to sign their former rivals running back Ezekiel Elliott, who is kind of cooked. I think what he can provide to you is a red zone running back that can run inside the 10-yard line and get punched in the end zone. He's also really good in pass protection, but why would you not roll with Barkley?
Agreed, but there were reports the Giants were in the running for Deontay Foreman. They made him a contract offer, and he elected to sign with the Bears. If you're looking for a power running back, well, you could probably get Zeke for 1 year, $3 million.
Oh, you can get him for cheap.
If you were interested in Foreman, could the Giants be interested in Zeke?
I guess. Would Ezekiel want to play for the Giants?
Would he want to be a backup to Barkley? That's a different combo.
Exactly. Can Ezekiel take that hit, and does he even want to play for a team he's probably been spoon-fed propaganda to hate for the past 6-7 years?
Do you want the Giants to sign Ezekiel Elliott? Type Y for yes, N for no. We'll do this quickly, and then we'll move on. Y for yes, N for no. Would you want the Giants to sign Zeke? I see an F Dallas in the chat, and that's really all I need.
That's Bryce again. I see a lot of no's.
Bryce is bringing gas early. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, Giants! Rolly!
With a $20 super chat. Our first wheel spin of the day. Spin the wheel, make the deal. Speaking of deals, any news on A'Shawn Robinson? I loved the text and the flow of that super chat.
That was good. Spin the wheel, make the deal. Speaking of deals, any news on A'Shawn Robinson? It almost sounded like a bar.
I was going to say, it kind of does. Anthony breaking, if you're a Yankees fan, Anthony Volpe going to make the opening day roster. That's big.
That's your guy.
That's big. That's our new, is he going to play short?
That's your shortstop. So, listen, I'm a seam head. I watch all the baseball games. I love baseball. Big-time Mets fan. Some of you guys know that. Marsh is a Yankees fan. We've gone back and forth on here. Marsh, not as much as a seam head as me. So when he asked me about Yankees roster construction, he asked me about who's going to be the new Yankee shortstop. He asked in the offseason if they should have won after Correa. Said, hold your brakes here. Yankees are probably going to stay away from Correa, which obviously with all that medical issues, they probably weren't going to sign him anyway. You've got a young Anthony Volpe in the pipeline who's a stud, one of the top prospects in baseball, the Yankees' #1 overall prospect. He's probably going to come up and start. I didn't think he would make the opening roster, but I was telling Marshall back in November and December that he'd have a shot, and he's going to be the shortstop of the future for the Yankees. Yes, Chris Paul, let's go Mets.
Let's go. No news, Giants Broly, before we spin this wheel on A'Shawn Robinson. We know he is visiting with the Giants today, but it's kind of been hush-hush around New York. No beat reporters have said anything. Curious if it ends in a deal. I thought it was guaranteed at one point, to be honest with you. I thought it was, but I don't know. I don't know if a deal gets done now with A'Shawn Robinson. Would not be shocked if it does, but at the moment, maybe they're still meeting. I don't know. We also do see this. Isaiah Hodgins is out there training with me. Paris Campbell and Isaiah Hodgins already getting working together. I love that.
Oh, they're going to be such a good duo next year.
Such a hater. Such a hater.
Listen, it's not a hater on them. It's just the idea.
Why can Isaiah Hodgins not be a legit wide receiver too?
No, listen, it's not hate on them. I'm just saying that I always love the narratives that someone signs with a new team. A week later, they're out there training with a teammate at the same position or with the quarterback, and then everyone's like, he's so dedicated. They're already working together. They're going to be so good. I'm not hating on Hodgins and Campbell. I'm just making fun of the notion that,
it's like when players in the offseason post a picture saying it's in best shape of life season.
Yes, it's like Carmelo Anthony in the gym in New York City in that one special gym making 18 threes in a row in the offseason saying, oh, Melo season is back. Nope, you're just in a gym, man.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Broly, nothing on Robinson. Once we do get news, though, you know, guy, we'll get you guys a video as soon as possible. Meeting was supposed to take place today. I assume it's going on. Surprised we haven't even heard a peep out of any of it from any Giants beat reporters. We do have a wheel spin.
Yeah, we do. As Jay Sports Cards asked me, Rolly, I bet you had a meltdown when he extended Daniel Jones, didn't you? Well, I don't know why you think I'd have a meltdown. So.
You're kind of a Giants hater.
I'm not a Giants hater.
You're rooting for the Vikings.
I wasn't. You can't find proof.
Easily could find proof.
No, you couldn't.
Easily.
I don't know why I'd have a meltdown, though. I mean, Daniel Jones was fine last year, so.
What up?
What's up, Chugs?
Will the Giants actually be able to beat the Eagles this year, or what?
I mean, are y'all going to be able to field a roster of 53 players? Everybody you're losing in free agency? Think so? Yeah, probably going to go from worst to first to worst this year. Yeah. I know you don't fill many holes, so maybe the Eagles can do that for you. Shout out to Jared. Jeremy, get your ass up here. Get your ass up here,
Are you still live?
No.
What were y'all live?
Well, what about Keelan Cole re-signing?
Dude, we literally cut the stream, and then a minute later he signed.
I'm going to bring up our Philadelphia Eagles producer and fan, Jeremy Chugs, into the building. He was just talking some smack about the New York Giants. Ryan Zolchinski in the chat. We're going to do this for Jeremy Chugs.
Chinsk, any way you can pick up some Torchies today?
Yeah, Chinsk, don't get lost on the way to Torchies. For the next, we'll go 2 minutes. Tequila shots? You can do some tequila shots? Oh, yeah, we do, baby.
For the next minute.
Oh! Does that count? We'll count it as one. Going forward, every $5 super chat in the next 2 minutes.
No.
10?
10.
All right. Every $10 super chat in the next 2 minutes. Jeremy Chugs, our Eagles fan, who just pretty much told me the Giants are dog shit, have to take a shot at tequila.
No, dog water.
Dog water. You heard him. Here, hype him up, Jeremy. Tell him what you were just saying about me.
Well, I was just asking him, will the Giants be able to beat the Eagles this year? I mean, that was probably the worst playoff game I've ever seen by an NFL team in my life. Get your hand off the wall. You're messing with the chroma. Oh yeah. No, obviously. But I mean, that was probably one of the worst playoff performances I've ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, I can't.
Let's go.
I cover high school football, and I haven't seen a worse performance in a playoff game in my life. Like, I saw a team lose 63-20, and I think that Giants-Eagles game might have been worse.
Oh, Giants Broly! That was.
Super chat. You got 1 more minute on the shot clock to make Jeremy Chugs drink.
Keep yapping, you rat.
Matthew Valverde. Get this man to take some shots. Every $10 that comes in, he's got a shot of tequila. I'm going to sing it for you right now because you're going to be doing it once the season starts. Cry, Eagles, cry on the road to losing games. Cry, Eagles, cry. You're holding the Super Bowl without a parade. Cry, Eagles, cry. How does it feel, though, seriously, to be a fan of a team that's lost in the Super Bowl 3 times?
Lost in the Super Bowl 3 times? I've only seen 2 of them.
Yeah.
Wait, you weren't alive? Or not alive, I meant. You weren't watching in 04?
I've only watched. Yeah,
That was 2. There was one.
There's one they.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All righty. I guess Jeremy's just got to take one shot. Take one for Cha as well. 20 came in. Take one for Cha. Look, we gave you an opportunity to put this guy under the table with tequila. $10 super chats. I guess he's only taken 2. We appreciate you. We appreciate you being a good sport, Jeremy. We also, Rolly, are $13 away. You look like a bootleg Marshy. We always get told we look like twins. Do we actually look alike?
I think it's just the type of hair you guys both rock. I mean, yours is different than his is, because his is more of a flat line up top. Yours is, got that little or the V action. But I can see what people say.
C-Note said, I think it's the beard. He's got a better beard as me.
Oh, Natalie!
Celebrate the first super chat from Natalie. Natalie, your first super chat on Giants Now. I'm taking a shot of Fireball.
Pass me the tequila bottle. I'll do it too. I don't know if I think Chugs is gone.
Yeah, Chugs has work to do. Probably on a video for the Eagles to field a 53-man roster because they're losing everybody in free agency.
I don't know if I've said this, but opening this bottle is like ASMR, like perfect. Like, guys, listen to this. Like, it's just ASMR heaven.
That's great. Natalie, let's go. Woo! Kill a Kev, the Eagles are falling apart. They are. They are. Has Johnson
What is this?
With the $3 super chat.
What is this?
What the hell is this, John? I will not see this.
Oh, Jafari Wells! Also his first ever super chat.
Jafari with a $10 super chat.
How about a new deal?
Hey!
If you've never super chatted before and you send any new super chat, we're both taking shots.
I like that.
Because it says when you send it in.
This is new, I think.
Yeah, I think it started in a different channel that I was a part of like a month ago, but this is the first time I've seen it on Giants.
If you super chat, it's your first super chat. It could be $1, $2. YouTube will let us know. And if it is your first super chat ever, Rolly and I will both take a shot for you and to celebrate an awesome achievement and you supporting the channel. That's awesome. Why is Laura back? I agree, Killa Kev.
She's obsessed with us.
I hope she watches the ads.
She wants us bad. She wants us bad.
She wants me and Rolly. Jafari, you're a legend. $10 super chat says, love you guys. Let's go.
Yeah.
We love that. We love you,
We
brother.
do love that.
We love you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Seriously.
Bill chimes in, says, not my first super chat, lol. We know that.
We know that. Bill, you're a legend. I'm taking a shot for you. I'm heating up.
We do have to spin the wheel for the 20 that did we get 1 or 2 20s? We got 2. One from Giants Broly and one from Cha. So we have 2 wheel spins going on here.
2 wheel spins.
So I'm going to start spinning. Cry, Eagles, cry, on the way to lose some games. Cry, Eagles, cry. I don't know the rest that Marshall said.
That was good. I like the vocal inflection. Drink water. Yeah. I'll drink some water. I could use some water.
All right, spin number 2.
Cry, Eagles, cry.
Ooh, someone's taking shots. It's going to be Marsh.
It'll be me. I think we're back. We're back. Are we back? Are we back?
We are. We are.
All right, we're back. We're
what
back.
The
that
hell,
was weird.
Man? That was weird.
That was weird. That was weird. We almost lost internet right there.
Yeah, that would have been
brutal.
Disaster.
The stream is heating up. We almost lost internet. Tuto Azzetti with a $5 super chat. Shout out to Tuto. Yeah, I don't know what happened right there. Someone's on the phone probably while being on the dial-up connection, and we lost.
You know what it was?
Doesn't even know about that.
You know what it was? It was Chugs sabotaging our stream because he was so mad that we roasted him in the stupid Philadelphia Eagles.
F Jeremy Chugs.
F
Tuto
Chugs.
With a $5 super chat says, massive salutes and respects to Big Boss Marsh and all diehard Giants fans in the house. Greetings from our entire rugby team in Italy, and F all the boys and losers. Shout out to Tuto, a legend here on New York Giants Now. We appreciate you tuning in, my man. We appreciate you. Matthew says Chugs is sick. We got some F Jeremys in the chat. Love that. Johnson, you said, how does Giants by Chat Sports have a private jet but no stable internet connection? It's a good question. It's a good question, Johnson. It's a good question, my man. It's a good question. We do have a super chat menu. We'll go through the rest of the top free agents here in a bit, and then we'll close the show with a mailbag because we got to be off here in less than 30 minutes at this point. So we need to get rolling. 25 minutes, so we need to get rolling. Of course, Ashawn Robinson is probably going to sign when we're switching over to Giants. Knicks, which is going to suck, but we're going to have to do it on Jet Knicks. I think so. I already have the copy and the thumbnail done. I think so. Pre-film, maybe? Pre-film the cut? I don't know. Yeah. Laura, since you're spamming, you can go spam by yourself in a corner and timeout. No spamming. You should know that as a member of Bears now. I don't know. I think that has to be it. This is our super chat menu. We'll roll through the rest of the top free agents. Then we're going to do a mailbag. We talked about Ezekiel Elliott. Taylor Lewan is another free agent out there. Plays offensive tackle. Giants don't necessarily need another tackle, but he is someone that is out there. Isaiah Wynn, also an offensive tackle. Rolly, what do you think of Isaiah Wynn?
You know, I am a Patriots fan, so I got to watch Isaiah Wynn quite a bit. He is very bad in pass protection, very good at run protection. Actually, this list has to be updated as you see number 17 here. Devin Singletary is a member of the Houston Texans now. But Isaiah Wynn, he's a smaller, athletic offensive tackle, good run blocker, very average at pass blocking.
As B. Johnson! First super chat ever from B. Johnson.
Let's go, BJ!
Let's go, B. Johnson. We appreciate it, man. We're going to take a shot for you. There was a player on that list, Rolly, that I am interested in as a Giants fan.
And could it be Mr. Jadeveon Clowney?
Yes. I think Clowney, he wouldn't be a starter.
So we did get a super chat from Don as well.
Shout out, Don. Shout out, Don. And then Cameron Johnson with a $2 super chat. First super chat ever. I love this. All the real ones.
Cam Johnson, what are you doing? Get back to practicing for the Brooklyn Nets.
Let's go. Trade first in next year's third for Jair Alexander. That's a big move. Could maybe the Packers go into a little bit of a fire sale mode after they lose Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know. I feel like they could compete in the NFC North, which isn't the strongest division. So,
yeah. All right, let's just get into the mailbag, Rolly. As we did get a 5, we'll pop that. It's actually not about Giants, so we'll talk about it now. My guy, Tuto. Big Boss Marsh, we were the 8th sub on your Giants channel from day one and been riding all along. F all Patriots as well. My man, Tuto, has been watching this channel, I think, just as long as anybody. I remember me doing my first Giants video back in June of 2021. And Tuto was a commenter back in June of 2021. So, C-Note says, Marsh, you just used to sound shy back then. I've gotten much better, I feel like, on air. You can go back and find that video. I watch it. I'm like, dude, that guy sucked. Why would anybody watch him? I still say that about myself. But, man, it's been a long way. I'm glad you guys that stuck around stuck it out because, golly, I was bad. I was bad. But we're much better now, I think. We went from shitty to, like, not so shitty. It's a long way to go. Long way to go. We do have a mailbag coming up. Use hashtag Giants or Super Chat to get on the show. We're going to do a mailbag, and then we're going to sign off on today's show. Hashtag Giants or Super Chats. All Super Chats will skip the line, or you can just use hashtag Giants. That way, Rolly can grab your question very, very easily. One mailbag left. My guy, Santi Loco from the 505. What up, Brody? My man Chinsky getting a question in. Shout out to Mitch. Shout out to everybody getting a question in. Yeah, it's Ryan Zolchinski, the greatest intern of all time. Shout out to Chinsky. Chinsky knows ball. We do owe a beer shot fund race for getting to 150. And I need to do it for my guy Frank White. Do we want to do it now or after the mailbag? We'll do it after the mailbag. We're at 187. Yeah, that's brutal. We will. I mean, it's not like we have to get much ready for Nick. Just move over. I'll do that once we get out. Kava? All righty, go ahead. Hashtag Giants or Super Chat. Let's break it down. Let's get into the Giants' latest news and latest. Giants Broly, you did miss the wheel spins. I had to take a shot, and then we had to drink some water. We have a beer shot fun race coming up, though, Giants Broly, at the end of this mailbag. We're at 187. We'll make a 2-shot fun race if we get to 300. But that's as what we do. We're doing it every 150. So if we get to 300, we'll do another beer shot fun race. Without further ado, I want to talk ball with you guys. Got a question? Hashtag Giants or Super Chat to skip the line. All Super Chats will be in the mailbag. You are watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Subscribe to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Just because week 1 of free agency has come and gone, that does not mean more moves are not going to happen for the New York Giants. And as you know, or if you don't, now you know, if the Giants make a move, we make a video. And I don't want you guys to miss out. So subscribe and turn your notifications on. Sub for Giants Dubs. Cameron Johnson, my man with a $2 Super Chat. Trade the first and next year third for Jair Alexander. It's an interesting thought right there, Cam. I kind of see your line of thinking here. If the Packers are going to go ahead and move on from Aaron Rodgers, could they maybe try to unload some of their top prospects, like maybe a Jair Alexander? Interesting. I don't know if I'd want to give up a first round for him, more so because I'd rather just draft a first round corner and then have him cost controlled for the next 5 seasons. Jair Alexander's a hell of a player. He'd be the Giants' #1 corner. He'd make them a much better team. I just think a first and a third might be a little bit too steep. For me personally, I think Joe Shane wants to get back to his roots of team building, and that's building through the draft. He's already made some splash signings, and he made a splash trade. I think he wants to hold on to those picks and kind of build out the roster through the draft. I'd love to have him, though, Cam. I'd love to have him. Mitch, my man. Marsh, what do you think the Giants will pick at 25? I think it's going to be between a center, a corner, or a wide receiver. I truly do. I think the wild card position could be another edge rusher. Keep your eyes on that. You're going to need another edge rusher. Right now you got Ojulari and you got Kayvon Thibodeau. But after that, you really don't have one. You got Tom and Fox. You need some more depth at that pass rush spot. And if the Giants feel like there's an elite pass rusher at that spot when 25's on the clock, I think they could go that avenue. But I think a corner or a wide receiver is most likely going to be the pick. My #1 wide receiver is Jackson Smith-Njigba. Then I have Jordan Addison, then Zay Flowers, then Quentin Johnston. As Ryan Zolchinski just comes in with a question that kind of rolls us right into that. Good job, early. Jackson Smith, Addison, or Quentin. Cheers. That's my order. I have Zay Flowers in front of Quentin Johnston. I think Johnson is a great prospect. I'd be happy if he was a New York Giant, but I do believe that he's somewhat limited as a route runner, and I don't know if that's what the Giants are actually looking for at the wide receiver spot. I think they want versatility. I think they want route running, and they want players that can separate on routes, and Johnson hasn't really shown that he's an elite separator when it comes to running routes. He's great with the football in his hands. It's something that's underrated. Go back to that Michigan game, caught that pass, went up the sideline, and really made some moves. Give me Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's my #1 wide receiver. Let me ask you guys this question. We're well into NFL free agency, a couple weeks now, or a week and a half now. What is the Giants' biggest need? What do you think? What is the Giants' biggest remaining need? Is it corner? Is it center? John Feliciano's gone. Is it wide receiver? Is it safety? Is it linebacker? Let me know. Sound off for me down below. Matthew Valverde, my man. How would you rank these needs as of now? Interior offensive line, corner, wide receiver, linebacker. I think you're in a very close order. I think center is the #1 need on this team now. You don't really have a starting center. Is it going to be Ben Bredesen? I'd put corner. That's the order for me. Interior offensive line, corner, wide receiver, or linebacker. That is the order for me. Interior offensive line, corner, wide receiver, linebacker. Matthew Valverde, we appreciate you. Thank you for enjoying, and thank you for reading my mind. I think it's center, corner, wide receiver. And I don't even know if linebacker's your fourth biggest need anymore. And maybe it might be, but you're on the right track, Matthew. Appreciate you. C-Note, my man. How do you feel about the NFL possibly letting players wear number 0 again? I would love to see someone wear 0 for the Giants. I don't care. I think if you want to wear 0, go ahead and wear 0. I don't think there should be any rules saying you shouldn't be allowed to wear a number, especially after they took away the number restrictions for players. I think 0 would be pretty damn cool. Bill Harnett, my guy Bill. With Feliciano gone, do we go center first round or wait till the second? Got in late. No problem, Bill. You're always welcome. I think you need a center. If the season started today, I think your starting center would be Ben Bredesen. And you got to get better. You got to get better at that position. You need a talent upgrade. I think center could be your pick at first round. I think it'd be your pick at second round. I keep your eyes on center, wide receiver, and corner as really probably the first 3 positions that come off the board for the Giants. I think I said it a second ago. Would not be shocked if they took an edge rusher. But I think center is probably the biggest need on this team, especially with John Feliciano no longer going to be a New York Football Giant. John, what up, John? You think edge is an underrated need for the Giants right now, considering Hattie's pass rush and Aziz's injury history? I do. I think edge rusher is a need for this football team. When you talk about the defensive line, you don't really have depth at that spot. Yes, you brought back Jihad Ward, but I would say he's more of an interior defensive lineman. Not a nose, but more of an interior. And I would say Raheem Nunez-Roches, a.k.a. Nacho, is an interior defensive lineman. You got Thibodeau, you got Azeez Ojulari. I'm worried about Aziz's health. And even Thibodeau has had some health injuries as well. Health scares, I guess, is the better word there. Yeah, I do think edge is an underrated need. I think the best teams in the NFL have a rotation of pass rushers. I think the Giants could use another one to come off the edge. And look, you have a stud on the board at 25 that you think could be a 6, 7, 8 sack guy. Not be shocked if that's the pick for the New York Football Giants. John, great question, man. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because we're getting closer and closer to 26,000 subs here on the channel. When the Giants make a move, we make a video. And make sure to turn on your notifications because breaking news can happen at any time. And I don't want you to miss a video. Hit that bell icon, looks just like that underneath the video. And after you click it, select all. That way you get notified every single time we put out a video. Jupiter, my man, with a $10 super chat. Build the O-line and you're set for a long time. There will always be wide receivers. That's a good point. I think you win in the trenches in the National Football League these days. I always just go back to the way that the game unfolded in the playoffs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Daniel Jones didn't stand a chance back there. He was under pressure. He was under duress. He was having to move without the pocket. And I think that you need to kind of put more talent into that position. You got your left tackle, Andrew Thomas. You got your right tackle in Evan Neal. Hopefully Evan Neal takes a step this year. If he doesn't, you got to move him to guard in year 3. I think Mark Glowinski is solid at right guard. Not great, but you got to hope Marcus McKeithen or Joshua Azudu emerges as your starting left guard. You drafted one in the 3rd. I want to say Azudu or McKeithen was a 5th rounder. Could be wrong. Maybe it was a 4th or a 5th. I know Azudu was a top 100 pick, and you need him to blossom and be a starter. You take someone in the top 100 of the NFL draft, you need him to be a starter. I agree with you, Jupiter. You win in the trenches, you win in this football league, and the Giants, they got to get back to that. Always be wide receivers, but you don't want to ignore that position. My man Tuto, Marshy, Giants got all players they've ever wished for now. It's all on coaches to take the Giants to the Super Bowl. No more Evan excuses. Forget about it. You're talented. I mean, there was a talent infusion this offseason. Bobby Okereke. He's a top 10 inside linebacker in the National Football League. Darren Waller could be a top 5 tight end when healthy. Paris Campbell is solid. You got better in the offseason, no doubt about it. You're not there yet. I don't think this is a Super Bowl roster yet, but you're on the right track. And then for this to be only year 2 of the rebuild, I think hats off to Joe Shane. He's doing a hell of a job. Coaching, I'm never worried about with Brian Dable. I believe in him. Cameron Johnson, would you draft Addison and trade the 2nd-round pick for a good CB2? I love Addison at 25. The reason I'm not willing to trade a 2nd-round pick is because if you're trading that pick, that means you're probably trading for a good player, meaning you'd have to pay them a lot of money. The key to winning in the NFL is drafting players and having them outperform the money that you're paying them. The reason draft picks are so valuable is not because you think you're going to get the next all-time great. It's that they're going to be cost-controlled for the next 5 seasons. You know how much they're going to make. They can't get a contract extension unless they're just absolutely phenomenal, but that doesn't usually happen until year 3. So at minimum, you're getting a cost-controlled player on a very low salary for 3 seasons. Yeah, I would not. I would just draft one. Unless it's a guy that's on a rookie deal. Never say never, but I would just rather draft one at 25 or in round 2. Anthony, our need is a good safety. I would kind of push back on that a little bit. Xavier McKinney, I think, is one of the best in the business. Pinnock, I thought, played really well last year. And you drafted Dane Belton early in the draft in 2023. I know you lost Julian Love, and that may be why you're thinking that. But you're hoping that Pinnock and Belton can be guys that fulfill that need. Maybe you look at a guy like Brian Branch, though, at pick number 25, because he could play safety. He could play inside corner. He could play on the slot. He could blitz off the edge. I think Branch would be a great pick at pick number 25, and I think it's someone the Giants are going to look at. But as far as just a true safety, I wouldn't say that is the biggest need, considering Xavier McKinney, in my opinion, has all-pro talent. I thought Pinnock and Belton played really well for Big Blue. I like this question. I want you guys to put your GM hat on and let me know. Who should the Giants sign next? Who should it be? Is it OBJ? Is it Zeke? Let me know. Sound off in the comment section. Andrew Long, first super chat on the channel. We appreciate you, Andrew. Should we look at Amos or Peters since Love left? I love Adrian Amos. I always have. I thought he's a great player. I think he's a good blend of speed and physicality. I think he's one of the best tackling safeties in the NFL, while also being able to be a good cover guy and kind of play that center field role. And I also like Marcus Peters as well, cornerback. I always thought Marcus Peters would be a Giant, considering the connections to the Baltimore Ravens with Wink Martindale and him being the DC now. I think maybe you look at them. Yes, you talk to them. You see what they want. You see what the market value is. I think the Giants are kind of done spending big, and I don't know how much these guys are going to want. I think both of them at this point, when you're this late in the game in free agency, you kind of get into tier 2. You're looking at second, for 1-year prove-it deals in the second wave of free agency. I would prefer Peters over Amos because I think corner is a bigger need than safety. But I think Amos is the better player. I'd look at both of them, no doubt. It's just going to come down to the dollars and cents. Jay Liv with a $2 super chat. Worth moving up for Paris Johnson. This is the offensive tackle out of Ohio State. Moving up, no. You already have your left tackle. You already have your right tackle. I don't think he's worth moving up for. I think he's going to be a good player. He had that viral clip on Twitter where he just absolutely dominated that kid in high school. But no, I'm not moving up for another tackle. You already got a left. You already got a right. If I'm moving up for someone, the position's going to be corner. If you think you have marked a blue chip corner and you want to move up from 25, that's probably the position I would move up for. If I missed your question, you can always hit me up over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm down to chop it up and talk Giants football all day over there with you guys. So just hit me up and send me a DM, and we could chop it up over there. We did get some more super chats that we'll roll through quickly right here. My guy Craig, we appreciate the love, my man. Thank you so much. Missed the beginning of did the TN visiting today leave without signing? So first off, no, he has not signed. And he's more of a DT, I would say, Craig. More of a run-stuffing defensive tackle. He's 330 pounds, not a pass rusher or run stopper. No word has come out as we are filming this that he has signed, but word hasn't come out that he's left yet. I believe they're probably still talking about it. I'm kind of expecting it to get done, but nothing yet. Nothing yet on that front, Craig. Once I get some news, you know I'll make a video. Thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate you supporting the show. Tuto with a $10 super chat. Big Boss Marshy, suit me up for the Giants next season, and I'll turn their corner like never before. Pancake O-lines and destroy every QB's all day guaranteed on your money back. Tuto, you don't got to prove it to me, man. I know you're a menace. I know you're someone out there that's going to tear everybody up. Tutu, you got to get in contact with Joe Shane, my man. I want to see you wearing some Giants blue. Tuto, we appreciate you, my man. I know some others came in. I know one, or maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Jupiter, Tuto, Craig. I think we're good. I think we're all cut up. Yeah, good calls too. Good calls. Yeah. Also, Andrew. Did I say it was Andrew's first super chat? Did I say it was Jupiter's? Jupiter, thank you for your first super chat ever. We appreciate that, my man. I'm going to take a shot for everybody watching right now, and then we're going to end the show with a beer shot fun race. Yeah, I got them all up here. We got to sign off in literally 6 minutes. What are we currently at? We're at 225.
Yep, 225.
If we get to 300 before we have to sign off in legit 5 minutes, we have to sign off in 5 minutes. If we get to 300, we're 75 away. Me and Rolly will do another beer shot fun race. We already got one. We'll do another. Shout out to you guys. Actually, I think a couple tens came in, so I'm going to do one more. Cha says maybe the Giants took him over to Ruts Stadium for hot dogs. That's hilarious. Shut's gone. Jordan Schultz. What's his name?
Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz. If that's what you're talking about, Rick, he is gone.
Dalton Schultz left the Dallas Cowboys for the team down south in the Houston Texans. As we did get a $2 super chat from Craig Clifford.
My man, Craig. We appreciate it, Craig. Thank you so much, my man. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for getting that question in. I love hearing from you guys, especially the ones that support this channel. Nelson with a $2 super chat. Any news on the turf? I know that they were ripping it up over the weekend. They're going to put more turf in there, so I don't want people to think the Giants are going to a grass field, because they're not. But they are going to be doing a new style of turf. Supposedly, it's this new, fancy, fast turf that less injuries. I don't know. I think Giants fans make a little bit too much noise of the turf. Not singling you out, Nelson. Everybody does. Go look at the ACLs torn over the last 5 seasons. I think I tweeted out a stat about it. It might be on my photos on Twitter. The Giants and the Jets play on the same surface. And the Giants have like 6 times the ACL tears that the Jets do in the past 5 years. Craig says grass is in 2026. World Cup requires it. If they're going to put grass in for the World Cup and they're playing at MetLife, maybe they stick with that grass. I'm just worried about a grass field having 17 games a season on it. That's going to get torn up.
Well, I will say I'm quite surprised that that's a good connect the dots by Bill. If it requires grass and MetLife is a host, which I believe there's no way you'd have a World Cup in the United States without having one in New York.
Yeah, I think there are guaranteed games at MetLife.
I know there's guaranteed games in Miami and California.
Houston, Dallas.
Dallas gets one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be dope. Where do they play?
I think it might be AT&T.
That's not grass, though, either.
No. I'm pretty sure it's Dallas. Not 100% sure, though. I know Houston for sure. NRG is grass. All righty. We're going to close the show with a shot fun race. The World Cup Finals is at MetLife, according to Gus. Yeah, AJ says Dallas at AT&T. That's what I thought. Mr. President says FIFA can be bought. Look, I don't know much about soccer. I know that FIFA's kind of shady, so. Watermelon or lemon? All right, I got Giants red. Shout out to Rolly, doing a great work today on the ones and twos, getting the questions in, not skipping any of your super chats. Shout out to you guys. All right, I guess we got a beer shot fun here, and then we're going to sign off and get ready for our Knicks coverage, which literally starts in 17 minutes. Ryan Zolchinski just told me Jackson Smith and Jigba's a lock for the Giants at 25. Let's go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Get a trash can. Oh my gosh, dude, mine did not work well.
Something shady about that one, Mark.
Rolly won, not gonna lie.
No, well,
Mine did not.
so here's the update. I think that his had some difficulties, and he was not able to finish the entire thing because somehow the can didn't get punctuated correctly.
It did not.
So I don't think he finished it.
Like, look how small the hole is at the bottom.
Yeah. So even though he put his down first, I don't think he finished the entire thing.
Rolly won. I had a malfunction. Rolly won. Look, this is what happened. Rolly won. Mine malfunctioned, and it is what it is. James says that's weak. Yeah, I dropped first, but it was because mine did not work. What? It did. It malfunctioned.
If you want me to share with you guys, I'm about to read this from BroBile, but according to Devin McCourty, some players preferred Bailey Zappi over Mac Jones last year.
Wow.
Mingia.
Oh, shit. Tuto came in with a $10 super chat. This is the last super chat. Bill, it didn't work right. It just didn't. Dude, did you see mine? So
I could tell something went wrong from the start because, like, out of my side eye as I started going, like, I saw some.
Pause.
You got a bad cock.
I got a bad cock.
You got a bad cock.
Yeah. F me, I guess. Tuto, Marshy, American football can't afford any pro rugby players. Our bags twice bigger than them. No body pads, no diapers, only a mouthpiece. Born warriors. That's true, man. I am not disagreeing with that. I would never play rugby. What a day. What a day. I'm going to end the show with a shot for my guy Tuto. Once A'Shawn Robinson news comes out, we'll get you guys a video as soon as possible. Frank, we appreciate the $50 super chat today, Frank. Thank you so much, my man. We'll be live for the Knicks game literally in 17 minutes. Catch us over there. Probably less than that at this point. Here we go.